Hi everybody, welcome to Serena Williams' press conference. I ask you to raise your hand if you'd like to ask a question. First question, please. Rob?
Serena, welcome back. What was the main emotion when you walked through the gates for that first practice session? And in the 4 years you've been away, anything new you've seen perhaps you were surprised about?
I can't say I had a lot of emotions, only because I think I was in Queens earlier and I was in London and I was on the grass, and I think being in Queens in particular, because it was in London, I was like, oh, this is real, like I'm actually playing again. And so for here, it was more like, okay, I've been doing this for a couple of weeks, and so it was kind of like riding a bike, and I didn't feel a ton of stuff yet. Obviously, when I play, I might have a lot of things come up, but yeah.
David?
Oh, that's Serena. When did you decide I want to play singles?
What was that like? So I think it was on. I had until Monday to decide, and I think it was like Sunday. So, because I just wasn't sure up until then. Honestly, I'm still not even sure, but we'll see.
Matt?
Hi, Serena. What do you anticipate your feelings might be like coming onto the court for your first match, and compared to other moments when you've come onto the court for your first match at Wimbledon, whether it's as a defending champion or you've had every experience here? So
I think my feelings would be different. I think in general, my expectations are definitely different for the first time in my career. And I feel like my feelings are just, not that I never enjoyed it before, or else I wouldn't be here today. But I feel like I'm really gonna enjoy being out there.
Just it.
Serena, did you follow tennis during these years? And if so, which was the player, male or female, that you watched with most pleasure? Who do you like now of the young guns that maybe weren't around when you were still on tour?
There's so many players that. Oh, so the first part of the question is yes, I did follow, not every single match and every single tournament, mostly just Grand Slams. Seeing Sabalenka just kind of do so well in so many of those Grand Slams has always been really cool to watch her. I love her intensity out there. But she was around when I was around, so that doesn't quite answer the question. But I like, and obviously watching Coco, who wasn't super around, but I love watching her.
Yep.
So I just wondered if in the intervening years you had time, or much time, or inclination to look back at your career and think about particularly here and what you and Venus have achieved at Wimbledon, and what were the things that really most stood out for you?
And Mira Andreeva, I like watching her a lot. I don't really look too much in the past of what I've done. You would never know that I was a professional athlete if you spent a day with me at home. My trophies they're not hidden, but they're in a room that's not crazy visible. So I don't know, like I never really think too much about what Venus and I have done here, and we do have memories sometimes, and I think most memories I've had are the last couple of weeks, and just mostly Olympic memories in particular. I don't know why, but yeah.
Hi, Serena. One of your more memorable matches here, certainly from a British point of view, was when you played Heather Watson on centre court in 2015 and had to dig deep with Heather serving against you for the match. Heather's still on the tour. She's coming back from injury. She lost in qualifying. I was just wondering if you had any words of comfort or advice for Heather as she attempts her own comeback, and what your memories of that match are.
Yeah, Heather has always been such a strong athlete and strong player and smart player as well. And I've always loved seeing her on tour, and her mom. My mom's really nice. So I just think, you just don't give up. If you really enjoy it, just keep going. And I'm always rooting for Heather. And there's a lot of people out there that are too. And, it's no one can write your story. She can write her own story.
Ben?
So Serena had a very sweet reunion yesterday, I think, with Grigor. I'm curious sort of about what you think of his. He had his rough moment here last year. He got hurt while he was beating Sinner. So what do you think of his comeback and just sort of what that relationship like and what he means to you at this stage of your life?
Yeah, I always call Grigor my bestie, in which he's definitely my guy bestie. But it was so good to see him. I mean, we obviously communicate outside of Grand Slams, but I haven't seen him in almost a year. So, and just catching up, and always have so many good memories with Grigor. And he gets my crazy, and I get his crazy, and believe me, he's way crazier than I am. Really? Yeah. So, but yeah, he's so good-hearted and good-natured, and yeah, it was really tough to see that last year, and he's had a tough year just dealing with that injury. But you just gotta continue to fight and continue to come back.
Ava?
Hi, Serena. Venus yesterday mentioned that you asked her before your first doubles match for a motivational quote or something, if she had anything that she had been saying to herself. I'm not going to ask you with the quote, but I assume that you're already very motivated if you're back out here and playing, but what were you looking for maybe in that moment? Why turn to Venus rather than, you've mentioned several other friends and people you have in your circle who've kind of been motivating you, and yeah, what did you want to hear from her?
She thought way too much into that. That was for my playing cards. I don't know if you guys saw in Clean, I posted my team through playing cards because I love Marvel and I love comics, and everyone had a motivational quote on the card.
That was for your first match.
And yeah, I don't even think I focused or read it. I just put it into AI and got a card. So she read way too much into that. But don't tell her that.
Simon?
Serena, you said that you were kind of in two minds about singles. I wondered if you were nervous, whether you expected to be nervous on Tuesday, and if so, is that almost something that you might have missed, being nervous?
I expect to be nervous. I was also nervous every single match that I've ever played in my life. And I think that showed the passion and the love and the care that I cared about my job, whether it was the first round or the second round or the finals. I've always had some nerves. But then I just dust them off, and then, I move on. And so I definitely expect to have those same feelings.
Hi, Serena. You became famous over the years for your elaborate custom kits. I'm curious if playing fashion in that way still interests you. And then secondly, if you have any thoughts on some of the blowback that Naomi has received in recent months for bringing fashion onto the court.
This was a game time decision, so fashion obviously means a lot to me, but there's only so much you can do in such a quick turnaround. So this wasn't planned. Again, this was not like super planned out. And I love fashion. I love however you express yourself. I think fashion is another way. I think as tennis players, it's hard for us to super express ourselves in many different ways. And so whatever way you can do that, I think is cool.
Hi, Serena. What do you know about your opponent, Maya, and how closely have you watched her videos to kind of get up to speed on her game?
Yeah, actually, I know her. I've watched some of her videos, and so I'm sure she knows my game. So, yeah.
Serena, the first we sort of got wind that you might be coming back was when you appeared in the anti-doping pool, whenever it was, October last year. I wonder, having had 4 years outside of that protocol and then having spent the last 6-7 months back in it, I assume you haven't missed it. How arduous is it going through that stuff?
It's grueling. They changed the rules now. I didn't know some of the rules, so apparently, like if you miss a test outside of your window, it still counts as missed. I'm like, so I guess I can't go pick up my kids. It's unprofessional, I think, but I hate it. I think it's necessary, but I think that a lot of this stuff is, if I want to go places outside of my window, I should be able to go without having it count as a missed test. So I think that there has to be a different way to make it reasonable, because that's just unreasonable. That was a big reason why I didn't want to come back either, because it's just so hard to, I mean, my life is busy. I run a company, I run a VC company, I travel the world, I have children, so it's like I could be in so many different cities, so many different times. But just getting that discipline of like reporting, obviously I don't mind because I love, and I always have been very clear about what I do. But just getting in that routine of like, all right, first of all, learning the new rules, and then just like getting back and like reporting every day. I guess now for 24 hours where I'm going to be is just different, at least for me. I don't know if that works for everyone else.
It's mine.
Serena, given the uncertainty you described when you made the decision to play singles, I'm curious what pushed you to make it? What made you decide that you couldn't miss playing singles at Wimbledon this year?
Well, I thought not every day Wimbledon holds a wild card for someone, and I can name probably like a handful of people, and happen to be one of those people. And I thought, well, I should really take this opportunity. Who knows if I'll ever make it here again? This could be it. You know, and so I was like, what's wrong with me, Serena? What are you thinking? Like, are you nuts? Like, you really should do this. Like, and so that kind of was like, this, people live to be an athlete, and I have this great opportunity to showcase what I do best, I suppose. And yeah, I think ultimately I was like, that is pretty cool, so I should do it.
What were the doubts?
I never thought I'd be back here sitting in front of this. We all know how I feel about this, so it was like I never thought I would do this again, and yeah, all the above. When I revolved or evolved, I had never thought I'd come back.
Hi, Serena. At Queen's pre-tournament, you said that being back on court felt like riding your bike uphill.
Mm-hmm.
Now that you've played a few matches, does it feel a bit less steep now? Do you feel more comfortable?
For me, the ride has always been uphill. Yeah, there's only been a few times it's been downhill, and those are fun times, but it's always, and I think that's just in general, like if you want to do something good or great, you have to always push yourself more. Even if it's easy, you should take the uphill route. And so, yeah, I still feel like it's uphill.
Kristen from Danish TV, so obviously Caroline Wozniacki is a big name in our country. She came back with kids, and she's also around here. I'm just wondering, have you talked to her about the do's and don'ts, traveling, playing tennis with the kids, and how will it be to play at center court with especially your 8-year-old who understands what's going on right now and haven't seen you in the prime?
Yeah, I talk to her all the time, actually. But her kids were way younger than mine. I don't know how she did that.
Hi, Serena. Mira Andreeva was in here yesterday, and she said she was watching the draw behind her hands because she didn't want to draw you in the first round. She said, "Trust me, nobody wanted to play Serena in the first round." How does it feel to still that the rest of the field still feels that way about you?
Respectfully, it's not surprising, simply because I think anyone that's done or had, it's like any other, the big four coming back. No one would, Novak's still here, but no one would want to play them in their first round. Like, I can't think of anyone that would want to do that. So I just think that that's just an immense amount of respect, which is yet another reason why I love her. and also just natural feelings. Like you want to, especially at the Grand Slam, you want to warm up, you want to play someone, you know. No one knows how my game may or may not have evolved, what to expect, don't know much. So those type of opponents are always very difficult to play. So I think that has also a lot of things to do with it.
Last question.
Hello, Serena. I work for BBC. I worked on your last ever Wimbledon match. You're a legend, and you've already got a legacy. You're back now. I'm approaching my 60th. You're a lot younger. What message are you looking to imprint now that you don't think you've already done? Is there anything new?
Honestly, I regrettably can't say that there is. I wish I could. I think that that message is going to be after everything. I think there will be a message that I will think of and that I will learn also, and I can spread. But as of now, I just think, you know, just have to believe in yourself and go for any dream, no matter how wild it may be, it may seem. Yeah.
Thank you very much,
Thank you.
everybody.
Thank you.